All right, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to the show. I kind of went down a rabbit trail earlier and happened to talk a lot about real estate on this show and this article about the mortgage crisis. And it sets us up really well. I have one of the best real estate professionals on the planet joining me here in studio, Seth O'Byrne. He's absolutely crushing it here in San Diego, nationally recognized, speaks on stage, teaching other professionals. He's going to be on The American Dream this Saturday at 10 a.m. Also, as I spoke about the Pacific Magazine piece, he's got a one page in there about a $3.75 million listing in Rancho Santa Fe. A lot going on. Seth O'Byrne, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Always good to have you in here. So where do you want to start, man? You got a ton going on. We're just talking in between the commercial break, all the things that you're doing. This Saturday, you're going to be on The American Dream,
Yep.
right? And you're going to actually focus mostly on what's happening in the luxury market. Let's start there. What do you mean by luxury?
Yeah, so that's a really interesting question because luxury in our market's not always luxury in another market. So, and vice versa. We were just talking about $1 Million Listing LA and
Isn't that funny that that's the name of the show?
Yeah. Oh,
right.
absolutely.
And they have one in New York as well.
And Miami now.
$1 million listing.
$1 million listing, which is funny. I would say luxury starts around $1 million in San Diego.
Okay.
To answer your question. So, and luxury, of course, is part lifestyle, but it's also part, it's part price point. That's a big part of it. Is these bigger properties? It's a niche buyer, it's a niche seller. Every home's unique. They're harder to value. And the marketing that you have to put behind them has to have so much more horsepower. You have to do so much more marketing for those properties.
Explain the uniqueness of the homes, because on a $500,000 home, which to me is also big. I'm from Missouri, remember?
Yeah, of course.
So,
yeah.
But there is more of for lack of better words, a cookie cutter element to the median price range. You can find appraisals that comp them out, and you can get a good idea of what the value of the home is. On the luxury side, though, much different, a lot more personal tailoring of that property, improvements done. So explain how you evaluate the property.
Yeah, and that's a really good question because, see, that could be your blessing or your curse. A highly personalized $3 million house can be really difficult. If you have a 5,000 square foot house and everything needs to be changed because it's far too specific to that person, that's a massive remodel.
Okay.
By the same token, some of these properties are so cool, they're so unique, they're so one of a kind, that rareness actually goes to its benefit. And our job as marketers is to take these listings and sell every single feature that really makes it unique, and then try to overcome some of the challenges that too much specificity creates.
So you have to figure out what you think the value is. Of course, also what the seller thinks the value is. I'm sure there's a little bit of a disconnect there on those higher levels. And by the way, if you want to connect with Seth, go to SethSold.com. Seth O'Byrne, award-winning real estate professional, here with me. Now, there's what the seller and you agree, okay, so this property is worth $7.5 million, hypothetically.
Sure.
Now you have to take that to market, right?
Yeah.
So you and the seller agree. How do you get that next buyer to agree with you? What are the steps?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, it all goes back to marketing. And all goes back to, and we were talking about it, a couple months ago when we wrote that book, Building a Story. You have to have a compelling story behind any piece of real estate. But if it's even if it's a $500,000 house, there's a lot of this information can still translate to if you're selling your house at $500,000. So I want to make sure we're not excluding anybody here. No, in fact, quite the opposite. We were talking before we went on air. The core of our business is $500,000 homes, and 50% are below that, and 50% are above it.
Yeah.
And I really believe I kind of think of myself as a Robin Hood of marketing, where we take what we're using in the high end and we give it to the moderate price points in San Diego, and I think you're that much more powerful because you say most agents spend say $100 to $500 behind every listing. Even our
is that about what an agent spends on a listing?
$500 to $1,000 in just hard marketing costs. We can spend up to $20,000 on some of these advertising campaigns.
Wow.
So we really put our back into it. And, part of that is we just love marketing. We love telling a story. We love getting behind properties. And there's a lot of homes for sale in San Diego. We really want our homes to be to have that extra sheen, that twinkle in their eye that makes people really take a second.
Well, you're probably the best marketer. I said earlier before you came on the show, if I could count 5 realtors on one hand that I would use to buy or sell a property, Seth O'Byrne would definitely be on that hand. And it's because you are a brilliant marketer. I called you the quadruplet of real estate earlier because you're everywhere. You're out there moving and shaking. But if anyone wants to see some of the stuff that this guy does, his videos, go to SethSold.com. Really, really probably the best website in real estate just from how interactive it is, a lot of information there. But okay, so you have this property, $7.5 million.
Sure.
You and the seller agree you're going to take it to market. You just said you might spend up to $20,000. What are you doing with that $20,000? How much of that is, and how much of that does a seller pay for? Do you pay for? And how does that all work?
Well, in a perfect world, the seller would really focus on one thing, and that's agreeing on a price that's marketable.
Okay.
And part of that pricing strategy is being honest about the condition and the staging. So if we want to fetch a high price, a seller's got to be prepared to do some staging, maybe some market preparation. So it's a package deal, And the interesting thing is, all the way up to $7.5 million, you would think these are much more sophisticated buyers. Mm-hmm. They are in theory, but the same things that make someone purchase a $5 candy bar or a $100 couch at IKEA or a $7.5 million home are all the same things.
It's all relative, right?
It's all relative. It's all what your eyes can see immediately. So anything that's, beauty is skin deep in residential real estate. It's how the furniture that doesn't convey in the sale is going to affect the value of the home. The paint that costs 5 cents an inch to paint on those walls, that stuff makes $100,000 impacts on properties of this value. So that's the first part. They got to do their market prep. Then obviously the ball is in my court, and we think of it as print media, radio, TV, and then viral. Viral would be anything that's social media based, email blasts, that kind of stuff. We engage the agents first, and then we engage the people behind them. But if we don't have wonderful photos and wonderful video, all those contacts really don't mean much.
It's interesting. If anyone noticed how Seth's voice cuts out when he's on the mic, it's because he's throwing his arms everywhere. He's drawing this all out. He's like visualizing it on the desk here. Well, no, it's fun to watch you kind of get passionate about this. When you say things like marketing prep, I want to make sure we're speaking to anyone from that $200,000 condo to that $20 million La Jolla listing. When you say market prep, what are some of the things that you encourage people to do, that you help them to do to get it ready to take to market?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of different ways we can capture a property, but one of the things with market prep is most of the ways we're going to capture this property is do a day shoot and a night shoot in high definition. And the negative to high definition is it shows everything.
Pictures,
photos.
Okay.
High definition photos, and video even more so. You can't really hide much in video. And so what we ask our sellers to do is make the property look like a blank slate, make it look like a model home. So, paint the walls, clean off the countertops.
So basically dummy it down a bit? I mean, that's probably not the right word, but
dummy it down, or make it,
simplify it a little.
We think of it as almost like making it more vanilla.
Okay.
You're literally
interesting.
Making it a more digestible thing for anybody's palate.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And so, I always encourage people, go look at new construction. It's they keep those sales offices open typically 6 to 7 days a week. When you're thinking about putting your home on the market, someone calls us. I always go to a Toll Brothers, go to a Lennar Homes or a Pulte Homes new construction community. Go walk through the model, and everything that you can do within your budget that's reasonable and affordable, that you can get closer and closer to that model, you are putting yourself in a better position to sell your home for tens and thousands of dollars more.
Yeah, and you need guidance from a guy like Seth. SethSold.com. I just want to make sure, as we have new listeners coming in and out, they know how they can find you if they have any questions about their home. You've mentioned video marketing. Yeah. I know this Saturday you're going to be on the American Dream at 10 a.m.
Sure.
Talking about video marketing. How important is that, and how many agents are doing it as a percentage? I know you don't know the exact number, but is this something that most agents are doing now, or what are we looking at?
That's a really good question. So, photos or videos. There's more videos and photos. I guess 48 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every single hour.
I read something the other day that was absurd. It was, the book Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk?
Yeah, of course.
Said that there's more content uploaded in 2 days now than in the history of man up until like 2010.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that crazy? That's how much stuff is going online now. But go ahead.
But that's where the big key difference comes in. You can take a video with your iPhone now. You can take a photo with your Android. But you can't, if you do not create professional grade content, it will reflect poorly on the property. We made a conscious decision. We took down all our webcam videos, all our personally taken videos from all of our YouTube channels, from our website. We said we're only going to do high quality professional content, because the medium is the message. If it's a high quality photo or a high quality piece of video, you will feel differently about that subject property. And so we feel like it's our job as marketers to do that. And that's why I was excited to talk about this today, is we encourage people to come look at some of the videos that we're creating. The video that we're going to be showing on Saturday, the video we got on Channel 6 News tomorrow, we've got 2 brand new videos we just put out where we have scripted actors, music, drone video, time lapse, underwater video.
Wow.
I mean, it's
about getting top dollar out of the home. Real estate is a very emotional buy, right? And the way of buying real estate has changed. You can do it online now. There's, as you mentioned, viral. You have people coming from all across the world to buy real estate here in the best city on the planet. Seth O'Byrne is incredible. He's a guy that can help you market the property. I appreciate you coming in here today. You're going to be on the American Dream this Saturday, 10 a.m. You also have a full spread here of Rancho Santa Fe, 92067. You have a $3.75 million listing going there now in Pacific Magazine. So, Seth O'Byrne, always good to have you in here. SethSold.com. Anything in parting here, Seth? Anything to leave with our audience?
Happy Tuesday.
Hey, easy enough. Happy Tuesday. How was your weekend?
It was wonderful. It was amazing. I'm actually happy to be back in the studio.
You look well rested.
I am very well rested.
Awesome, man. Good to have you in here. Seth O'Byrne, stud, going to be on the American Dream this Saturday, 10 a.m. I know we talked about luxury listings, but Seth's team can handle anything from $200,000 to $20 million all across the area. We've got a great team, SethSold.com. All right, that's all for the show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow, 6 p.m., 11:70 a.m., KCBQ, educating, empowering, and engaging you. If you have any questions from today's show, go to Craig@sewing.com, and we are out.